At the end of Ramana's book, Self-Inquiry, he says, "He who is thus endowed with a mind that has become subtle and who has the experience of the self is called a Jivan Mukta."
Yes.
Is this the state that can be called self-realized?
That's right. Self-realized. Yes.
Yeah. And when one is immersed in the ocean of bliss and has become one with it, without any differentiated existence, one is called a Viha Mukta.
Videha Mukta.
Sorry, Vidya.
As far as I understand, they say Jivan Mukta is the experience gained when we are in body.
Right.
This liberation can come even when we are leaving the body or after we leave the body.
Right.
That is Videha Mukta. As far as I may be right or I may be wrong. As far as I can understand, this is the difference.
I see.
Jivan Muktas are called realized souls who are in body. Those who have left the body and realize at the time of leaving the body, they are called Videha Muktas. See, what happens is, this death alone does not liberate us. Death of this particular body does not give us liberation. What is to die is the ego, the body, the mind, intellect and the senses. All these must go. These are all called subtle bodies. All these bodies must go. Then only we are fully liberated. But when this body dies, we carry the other bodies with us. The astral body, the mind is with us, the intellect is with us. We are not completely dead. We have only dropped one part of our body. Then we are not liberated souls.
So then we take up another body.
Till we take up another body, we carry on with this subtle body, astral body.
And we bring back all
we
the
bring
things
back
we had already.
all those we are carried with us, all those we had accumulated during the previous birth. We come back as a small child, grow up, work out those things in our life. This is what I understand as Videha Mukti.
Can I ask you, you had mentioned before about Jivan Mukta. How could we as devotees, how could we tell who is a Jivan Mukta, who is not a Jivan Mukta?
It is difficult for others to understand. Difficult for us.
You see, we would all say that you're a Jivan Mukta, and yet you're saying you're not a Jivan Mukta.
It's difficult for others to understand. We ourselves have to know whether we are in a cage or we are out of the cage.
Can you give some guidelines for this Jivan Mukta?
Guidelines are this. When we know we are the entire universe, or that we are the all-pervading reality, and we are one with everything in the universe, we are no longer bound by the ego. We have become Jivan Muktas, or we have realized souls. But when we see other person different from us, other person, I have nothing to do with him. So I am in a small shell. That is ego-controlled life. That is not Mukti or Jivan Mukti. That is ignorance. So when we have to get out of the ignorance, we have to break the small shell, get out of it, embrace the entire universe and beyond as our own. We can know ourselves. It's not difficult. As I told you, as the bird is in the cage, it knows it's in the cage. And when its cage is open and flies about, what freedom it enjoys. This we can enjoy.
As I've been traveling and meeting some people, some teachers to make this interview, there seems to be some common attributes for example, a certain availability, a certain stillness, a certain peacefulness. Even I can use this lila, a certain playfulness. And these attributes seem to set these people aside from the most of the people.
Yes. That is naturally when they are one with the entire universe. They are not bound by the ego and all the pairs of opposites that have been troubling them so far. They are not affected by what happens in the play of God, that is in the universe. They know they are the self and not the body or the mind or intellect. So they take everything easy. Say, suppose you come and abuse me. I know it's affection. You are telling something. Why should your word affect me? I am unaffected by all these things. Even if fire comes and touches me, I am not burned by the fire. Even water comes in, water cannot wet me. I am the self. They always remain in that consciousness. They say Buddha had so much patience. Gautama Buddha had so much patience. When somebody went and started abusing him, using filthy language, he heard everything, smiling. And when that man's vocabulary was exhausted, Buddha asked him, "My dear friend, suppose you bring an apple and offer it to me. Suppose you bring an apple and offer it to me. I don't accept it. Where will it remain?" He said, "It will remain with me. So whatever you have said, I have not accepted. So they remain with you." That much of patience they have. They don't feel that abuses or something else does in any way affects them, because they are identifying themselves with the self only, whereas we are identifying with the body. That is the only difference.
So when you see us sitting here, you see us as the self.
We see the body plus the substratum.
Right.
We see the whole, or everything in the universe is based on the substratum, that is self. So when we are progressing on the path, our vision also gradually changes. And finally, when you are established in it, it is completely changed.
I see. You're saying that there is a gradual movement into the depth of the self.
That's right, according to the purification of our mind.
I see.
As we say, we see with very dark glasses. We see everything dark. The tint gradually becomes less and less. You see everything clear. So when you realize the truth, our vision is perfectly clear. We see everything as they really are.
And it's generally accepted that there is a certain moment, there's a certain aha when this clarity is coming, but you're saying it's a gradual.
It is gradual, but when you get it, it is just sudden, you see.
Right.
When you finally get it, I am that. But they also say at that time, though they say I have got it, but I am the same thing, I have been the same before. I only did not know that I was that. That has been with us, that is with us. But we don't know that it is with us. We don't know that we are peace and bliss absolute ourselves. But when that dirt is removed, we know that we are that, and we have been that always. That is just like a man who has got a heavy purse in his pocket but has forgotten all about it. He says, I have no money at all, I am a beggar. And somebody comes and says, see your pocket, you are a wealthy man, you got a lot of money in your pocket. Oh, he puts his hand in his pocket. Oh, I got a lot of money, I am a wealthy man. So he has forgotten all about his wealth and pretends or feels that he is a poor man. That's what we are doing now. Being bliss ourselves, we are pretending that we are miserable creatures in this world. And Guru comes and tells us, you are not miserable. You are peace, bliss, absolute. You have forgotten that. Meditate on that. You will be able to realize your own self. That is absolute, immortal, peace and bliss. Guru has to come and tell us.
And then you're saying that when he comes and tells us, if we have done the purification of our mind, if we're ready, then you're saying there is a moment of aha, which is a recognition of truth.
That's correct.
And after that recognition of truth, we see clearly.
Right.
But is there still a kind of, I can use the word, deepening into the self, even after this aha?
You see, one who has realized the truth is oneness with the all-pervading reality. He can say, I am bliss myself. But still there is another stage. He has not accepted the entire universe as the form of God or his own manifestation. When he comes out of that stage, as I said, above body consciousness, you forget the world, forget your own body, and are immersed in yourself. Peace and bliss absolute. There you enjoy the most blissful, have the most blissful experience. Now, when you come out of it, you are mixing in the world. You are not accepted the world as the form of God, as the form of your own self. So the mind is disturbed there. The mind wants to go back to that stillness because it is not the fullest realization. Now, after further spiritual practices, you realize the manifestation is also his own. It's not different from him. Then we can say fully established in it. Then he is full of peace and bliss, whether he is active or he is still. Whether he is in meditation or whether he is active, he is enjoying that peace and bliss.
So are you calling that enlightenment, and the first aha is self-realization? Are you saying that there are two different, I don't like to use the word states.
You mean to say enjoy the experience first? That's what you mean?
I'm saying that at the moment of aha, when you know that I am the self, that is self-realization.
Right.
And then later,
you accept the entire universe as a manifestation of God, that you get established at that.
And you call that enlightenment?
Yes. That is full enlightenment.
Right.
But those who do not accept the manifestation as God or manifestation of their own self still can be called Jivan Muktas, because they are liberated souls. As long as their ego has merged in the Paramatman or Parabrahman, they have no more birth, no more rebirth. So they can be called liberated souls. But that is not fullest realization, in the sense they have to accept the universe also as the manifestation of God. They have to live and move in the world accepting everything as God himself. That is called...
First one is the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, second one is the Sahaja Samadhi.
That is called Sahaja Samadhi. The first stage they call Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where they lose themselves. They forget the body, they are merged in the self, oblivious of external things. But they have to come out and accept the entire universe as the manifestation of God. They live like children, that's free, liberated souls. But apparently they are like ordinary men. cannot find any difference in them, except that they are always blissful. Right. That is the only difference. And that is called Sahaja Samadhi.
So in a sense, that's the natural state of a human being.
Natural state.
It's nothing really special. It's actually our most simple...
There's absolutely no effort for them. Whatever they do is spontaneous. They have completely eradicated the ego. It is God alone who is working through them. That is what they say, God is working through them. God is working through me. God did this through me. That is what language they use. I does not come there. The small I is gone completely.
And would you say that this is very rare, that there are very few people who achieve the second...
Very, very rare. That is the highest attainment, and very rare persons have that. Two of them are there. The only great privilege we had was to live with them for some time.
And if we look out into the world now, could you suggest some other people who come in this category?
It's very difficult. Very difficult to recognize them also. The only way we can recognize them is many people flock to them for advice, for help, for peace. And when we really go to them and sit at their feet, somehow our mind becomes still. All the waves disappear because of their influence. And when we get that experience and an unearthly peace dawning in us, we can say he is a Jivan Mukta, he is a realized soul, he is in Sahaja Samadhi. That is the only way we can find out.
And is it likely that there are in fact many other people we don't know about them? They are just living a very simple, ordinary life, day by day, not attracting anybody.
There may be not known to the world, but where there is a drop of honey, ants go there.
We're the ants. It appears essential to meet a guru and stay with that guru. Who is the guru?
How to recognize a guru? It is essential for people on the path to get real guidance from a realized person. So he is called the guru. But to find out the guru, as I told you now, it is not easy. We can see many people approaching him, adoring him. So we may also go there